Hey guys, Mark from Ecom Warriors here. What you're seeing today is a 2-hour plus video of a course that we created here on YouTube completely for free of me designing a Shopify store from scratch. Now, the reason why this is important and the reason why I think everybody should, kind of dive deep into this course is because the one thing that's super important for Shopify is your conversion rates, right? If we send 100 people to the website, we want the most of those people to purchase products from us. And that's how you create a successful Shopify store. Now, the theme that I'm using is the Wolf of Shopify theme. And within the course, you guys are going to see me be using it from start to end, right? We're going to take advantage of the unique different, collection pages and product pages that they have. We're going to take advantage of countdown timers, sales pop-ups, all these different features to make sure our Shopify store converts. Not only is it unique, but it's an affordable theme that everybody can use and that I'm specifically using for the course. Now, you can use any theme you like. I'm going to be using this theme, and what you're seeing on the screen right now, like I said, is the design of the store that I actually created, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it. With that being said, guys, I'm going to be leaving my discount code and the link to get the theme in the description box down below. The website is called wolfofshopify.com. On the screen, you're seeing the website as we speak. You go and click on their link to buy the theme, and you use code WARRIOR to get $25 off. All right, guys? So let's go ahead and hop right into the course together. Welcome everybody to our design course on how to design a Shopify store properly. Now, this is going to be a masterclass that we're hosting here, and our goal with this course is that we want to show you different ways to design a Shopify store, but it also has to be a store that's not only going to be functional, but geared towards getting conversions for your business, right? At the end of the day, I believe that if you can't build a business that can't convert, then what's the point of building it, right? So the whole goal when we build our Shopify stores has to be clean, good looking, right? It has to be functional, and it has to be geared toward conversions. So to be a little bit more specific, we're going to have aspects within the course where we talk about creating different banners. We're going to be talking about dynamic banners. We're going to be talking about split banners, kind of like the banners that you're seeing on the screen now. We're going to be learning about different hero banners, right? And the benefits of using these banners. You guys are going to see me put the whole store together using the theme of my choice, right? And you guys could use a theme of your choice also when you go along with the store. We're also going to be learning about countdown timer banners. These things are elements of a store that are used at certain points of time within a Shopify store to not only boost sales, but also improve conversion rates, right? We want our stores to be a positive experience for our website viewers. So it's very, very important that everything looks clean and mobile friendly. We're going to show you how to create a mobile friendly Shopify store that correlates with the overall design of your store. These are just some of the things, along with headers and footers, and the list goes on, right? We're going to show you how to create product collections, okay? We're going to show you how to do a lot of things in this course. So the whole point with this course is that we can get you to design a beautifully designed store. Now, a little bit about me is that I'll be your course teacher for this course, and we're going to actually have a project in the down below into the course. There's going to be a project that we're going to begin, and the whole concept of the project is that we're going to have you guys create a store with us, and we want you as parts of the project to take screenshots and send it in so we could actually review it, and then we can kind of give you an A++ on it, right? So that's going to be part of the project. Like I said, that's going to be all available in below within the course. Now, with that being said, okay, a little bit about me is I've been building Shopify stores for a very long time now. I've tested many different themes, many different stores, and I've been through the ringer. And so if there's one person to learn it from, take it from somebody who can actually design a good looking store, kind of like this one. So we're going to be going in depth, and the first lesson we're going to have is where we're going to talk about understanding what Shopify themes can provide and the various different Shopify themes. So let's go ahead and get started into the first lesson. Can't wait to see you guys. Okay, so welcome to the first lesson of the course. Now, what we're going to be talking about is the Shopify dashboard and the different themes that you can select. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is the Shopify dashboard for this website that you're seeing right here. Okay, so what you're seeing right here is a website that I created previously just for fun and for design aspects. And this is the back end to that website. Now, to get to here, you have to go to Shopify and you have to create an account. And when you get to the account process creation section, you're going to see a section or the homepage that kind of looks like this, right? And the first thing you want to select is the online store button. And what it's going to do is it's going to take you now to the page where you can upload themes, right? And so what is a theme? Let's go ahead and discuss this. So a theme is the overall design behind your store. So, certain aspects to the store, like for example, the way your banners are designed or the way your countdown timer is designed, different aspect designs to your website is all incorporated within what's referred to as a theme. Now, there are paid and there are free themes out there. Right? So what a paid theme is the same as a free theme. The only difference is there are going to be different features and there are going to be different benefits. Now, a paid theme specifically is going to be a design of a store that can, typically be better than a free theme. I always recommend to my clients and to my students is that we go with paid themes because paid themes are typically better. Now, that's not always the case. There are some paid themes that aren't worth $1 to spend on, but there are free themes that are much better, right? And there are some paid themes that are beneficial, and there are some free themes that are not beneficial. So the theme that I personally use is the Wolf of Shopify theme. This is their website, but there's a host of other themes available. So, for example, if we go to, free themes here, explore free themes, right? We can explore the different theme designs that Shopify provides for us. And we could visit the theme store where there are paid themes by Shopify. Now, there are third-party themes such as Wolf of Shopify, Turbo, all these different brands. What you're going to see me do is you're going to see me create a store using Wolf of Shopify, but you can use any kind of theme or any kind of setup that you want to personally use. Okay, remember that picking a theme has to do with your creativity, but you also want to make sure that your theme is functional and creative, right? So when I say functional, the main goal of the theme is that it will convert at a higher level than normal. Okay, than a typical theme would. Typically, free themes do not incorporate that, but like I said, it's not necessarily a requirement, it's just an option. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next lesson where we talk about different theme setups. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about theme setups. So depending on where you get your theme from, there's going to be different presets or setups that the theme is going to have. So for example, the theme that I'm currently using, which is called the Wolf of Shopify, it has 5 different demos or 5 different setups or templates, okay? With free themes, they have different templates also. So I know, for example, the Boundless theme has different templates, right? So there's black and white and there's a vibrant, okay? Let's say, for example, for this theme, you have snowboards, you have outdoors, and you have boxing, right? These are different demos. For the free themes here, what I notice is that they typically encompass similar designs, just different colors, right? With paid themes that are third-party and on the Shopify store, you're going to notice a little bit more of a difference with a little bit more creativity behind them, right? But if you're a beginner, free themes are a great place to start. But if you want to take e-commerce very seriously, just realize that paid themes incorporate, most of them at least, incorporate different demos. And for the specific theme that we're using here today, it will have different aspects that we can utilize to grow our business with the different demos, and these different demos will come in handy. So if I just preview, for example, here, if we hit customize on homepage 4 and let's just go ahead and wait for this to load, you're going to notice that there are significant differences between that of homepage 4 and the regular, let's say, homepage product page. So if we just select on this product page, right, for the OG Revival leggings, what you're seeing here is a product page with 3 segments of focus. This is what I call right here 3 segments of focus. Basically what this is if there's a concept that you want to have your viewers focus on, these 3 segments of focus allow your users to view, for conversion rates and just to kind of spread your message better, right? Why choose us? Information about returns, informations about shipping. When people understand more information about your product and your business, there's a higher chance that they'll convert as a consumer because they know more information about you, right? It creates more trust. So just to view home demo 4, if we click on product page here, okay, what you're going to see is a product page that is significantly different than the one that you're seeing here. So for example, this is not significantly different, but you have here 3 points of focus. There are no 3 points of focus in this demo, right? So there's different reasons and different places where you'd have them. Let's go back to, for example, homepage 2. Let's hit customize and view that product page, and we'll explore the differences between that also. So let's go ahead and have this load and just give it a minute here. And while we're waiting for it to load, let's head over to product page. Right, so let's navigate to the top bar here and select product page. What you're seeing here is there's 3 points of focus now, and there's also a special offer focus box. Right, these are different features that each demo might have that you want to incorporate within your business. Right, so for example, if you're creating an ad, and this might be a little bit too advanced to discuss, but if you're creating an ad on a certain product that says 30% off, you're going to want to include that information somewhere here in the special offer box. Why is that? Like I said, it's a different feature that different themes allow, and they just have different benefits to them, okay? Now let's get into the actual design part. So we're going to start by using a specific design that we like, and we're going to review the design in the next lesson, and we're going to make the final decision to get into it. And I'm actually going to be explaining to you guys why I selected that particular design and how we're going to choose to set it up, right? So let's get into lesson 3. Okay, so now that we've gotten through different setups and different designs, here in lesson 3, we're going to be talking about what theme or what demo that I'm going to be picking. So I'm going to be picking demo number 3, and to be able to just go ahead and publish that, we're going to go here to the actions button, and let's go ahead and hit publish. Now I know that the demo is not yet created, but once it's created, it's going to look a lot better. So let's just go ahead and hit publish and wait for it to publish. Now that home number 3 is now our published demo, there's really not much to view on the page except for the basics. So let's go ahead and hit customize here. Okay. Let's just give it a minute to load. While we are waiting for it to load, remember guys that when you load your demo, it could take just a minute or two to get going. So the general mock-up that I'm seeing here is that we have a hero banner, right? And this is referred to as a hero banner because it stretches from the left side all the way to the right side of the theme or of the website, right? We have underneath it a split banner followed by a product grid with a product selector on top. This is going to be a very useful tool that we're going to utilize, and like I said, this is why picking the right theme matters a lot. So if you find a theme that has these benefits, you should definitely pick it up, right? Here is a banner that has a promotional banner. So ideally there would be an image here and there would be an image here where you could kind of promote the business. Not sure if I'm going to keep that, but we'll see as how things go with the design. We have our new arrivals section here for different products and different collections that we'll be creating. And we have an Instagram shop section, and we have a footer. So what we're going to be doing here with this whole entire website and this theme is we're going to be making things a little bit different with our design, all right? So let's go ahead and get started with our mockup. So just to go ahead and make things easier for myself, I like the concept of having this hero banner here, so I'm actually going to choose to keep it. The split banners is something that I am very I'm much of a supporter of. I'm an advocate of split banners, and we'll explain that in later parts of this lesson, or this course rather. But split banners is something that's going to stay for us, and our general product grid here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this banner and this banner. So let's go ahead and hit just remove section here. And so we got rid of those products, or those banners rather. And so we have our products. We have new arrivals section here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the new arrivals section. So we have our flash sales section here. We're going to get rid of that. And just to get rid of something or a section right here, you just click on the section, you hit these little three dots, you hit remove section, and let's go ahead and get rid of the Instagram shop section. That's something that I'm going to get rid of also. Okay, so let's hit remove section. So currently we have our home banner, or our hero banner, our split banner, and our product grid. Okay. Now, something that I need everybody to do is to make sure they add their own products. So that's what we're going to go into the next lesson, is we need to add our products, and we have to create collections for these products to be able to categorize them and have them show up on our website. All right, so let's go ahead and just save our progress thus far. Let's hit the save button, and let's go ahead and move on to the next. Okay, so arguably one of the most important lessons where we talk about banners, and we talk about hero banners specifically. So typically a hero banner is going to look something like this, right? It stretches from the left side all the way to the right side of your website. We have some settings that we can implement. Like, for example, we can make our header transparent, and it could leak into the actual banner. You could see here. So if if I click on this button, it will create its own banner. If I click on transparent, let's click on this banner, it will basically leak the banner into our header. I think I like this setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a banner image or banner background. So in my case, just you want to remember, guys, that a banner has one purpose, and it's focus. What are you presenting? What focus are you presenting to the consumer? Are you selling t-shirts? Are you selling clothing? Are you selling pencils? Are you selling notebooks? Whatever you're selling, it should be somewhere in the banner. Also, a good place for a banner is if you have multiple ones like this, like a sliding banner, is you want to try to implement the factor that where you can promote stuff and showcase your sales, showcase your discounts, showcase your offers. To be able to do that, you're gonna have a better chance with conversion rates, right? That's what hero banners are for. Every piece of real estate on our website has a purpose, and this is the purpose of that. So let's go ahead and go into slideshow here. And for our first slide, which is going to be slide number 1, we're going to select an image. Now, I have some preloaded images. You guys can select any image that you want. So let's just give this a test. This was a banner that we had available to us, and I think it looks overall pretty decent. We can select the different headers. Now, if you're wondering what this block is that says 160 by 46, it is simply a logo. So we can't edit that within the banner. Like I said, that's kind of header stuff, which we'll talk about in the future lessons. But just for this video's sake, we can select one of the logos that we have saved. In this case, obviously, it's not going to look too good. Maybe we want to make the logo a little bit smaller so it doesn't take away from the image. So as we did, it looks very, very clean. We might even want to make the text and the color a different color for the banner. So you can see here, now it's a lot cleaner. We can even edit the text. So there's a Shop Now button here. To do that, we'll just head over to Slideshow, also known as a banner. We can edit the text. So in this case, color button, we can make the default to be orange and the hover to be white, for example. So whenever somebody hovers, the colors are going to change of the button. Let's go ahead and hit save, and let's just refresh the page so we can view how that looks. So I'm going to go back here and let's refresh. Let me just wait for this saving. Okay, it's saved. And let me hit reload here. Let's just give it a second to load up, because as we know, there's a lot of content on this store. Okay, there we go. So we have our text, we have our button. Anytime I will hover over to the button, it will turn white. And we have our logo that's minimized, and we have our transparent header. Now, you guys can add different banners. I'm only going to keep this banner for now, just for the sake of this video, like I said. So we covered now hero banners. Let's go ahead and move on to split banners. Okay, let's go ahead and start lesson number 6, where we begin product implementation, right? So let's go ahead and head over to online store and let's hit customize. Now, the first thing that we're going to want to do is any section where we see empty products, they have to be filled in with certain products that we're selling. So as you know, we're selling male and female related products. So anything like this is unacceptable. We need to make sure it has product images. So let's go ahead and hit product version here. And we have different tabs of products. So in one tab, I'm going to name a tab men's, right, for men's products. And another tab, I'm going to name it women's. Okay, so we have a women's and we have a men's. These are different tabs that people are going to be able to toggle through. Now let me go ahead and add a collection for that. So let's hit select collection and let's hit men's. Let's hit select. Okay, so we have a selection of men's products here, and we have a selection that we're going to add for women's here, and we're going to select our women's products. So let's search for women's, and women's is right here. Let's hit select. So whenever a consumer clicks on our product grid here between women's and men's, they're going to be able to flip through our products. Now, what if I want this to look a little bit cleaner? What I'm going to do is I'm going to organize how my products look. So how do I do that? Well, let's go ahead and just take a look at this here, and let's just memorize what collection it is. So we have men's collection and we have our women's collection. Let me go ahead and hit edit collection here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the design of how the men's products are kind of selected. So if I just hit browse, we have a few men's products here. So I'm going to select this one, and any other men's related products. So we have these, right? The varsity joggers, the varsity shorts. These are all women's products. We have a t-shirts for men, and that's basically it. Now, kind of like how in life you want to bring the best impression forward, goes the same thing for websites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit manual here, and what I want to do is I want to kind of edit the order of where the products show and why they show at a certain stage, because that will give me a better chance at converting when my website is just designed more cleanly, or cleanly, if that's the right word. So 1, 2, 3, 4 shirts here. We have another few shirts here, and we have some shorts. So we have 10 total products. Let's go ahead, and it's already saved. So if this button isn't grayed out like this, then that means it's already saved. So we can go back here to our collections, and we'll just search for women's. So it'll be the last one here, and we're going to do the exact same thing here. So let's go ahead and browse, and let's select all the women's products. So we have 2 women's products here. We have, let's start from the bottom. We have this. These. Let's see if we missed anything down here. Let's just continue to scroll up. And that seems like a good setup thus far. Let's go ahead and hit done. And now let's sort through manually by selecting the order. And I think I want to select this product to be first, this to be first, third here. Let's bring in these seamless jackets. And this seamless jacket, we have the shorts, and we have the bikini top. So that's going to be good enough. Obviously, it's already saved. So let's go back to our customized page here, and let's just refresh our page and see how our product collections kind of look when we implemented our own kind of product configuration. So let's just give that a second to load, and it should be all ready for us real quick. Maybe if I just exit out here. Okay, so you could see here we have our products uploaded now. So something that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to bring this one to the bottom, right, with this, and I'm going to want to make that edit, but overall it looks pretty decent. So you could see here obviously first time loading, so something I might want to do is get rid of these products because they're shaped differently or smaller sizes. But this is something that you guys are going to want to do with your websites too. You're going to want to make sure that the images are all uniform and all the same size, okay? And that's just a little tip for you guys. So let's go ahead and just do that on camera real quick. So this core performance tee has to be brought into the bottom, if not just totally hidden. And this, where is it here? These three products should be just, let's just totally hide those. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back into our collections. So let's go over here into our banner, and let's go ahead and just, not our banner. We have our product V3. Let's go into men's. Let's hit edit collection. And like I said, we need to edit our core performance tee and move this all the way to the bottom just for size features. And what I actually want to do in this case, since the core performance tee is much smaller, let's just go move this to the bottom here, and let's pull up let's just make only 10 products at the top. So if I just go ahead and save this and make sure the identity jogger and the core performance tee. So we have the identity jogger here. Let me go ahead and, so we have this identity jogger and we have the varsity jogger. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this, rid of this. We're going to get rid of this and rid of this. Now, typically, guys, normally I would have these products available on the website. However, they're too small. The photos just don't look good. So I don't want to risk quality or the design aspect just to have them available. Like, that's not interesting to me. So we have, let's just see how many products we have. We have 12 products visible. So it should be the first 12. So let's look through 1 through 12 here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This should be 11 and this should be 12. Okay, let's just go ahead and make sure that we have 9 products available. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's go ahead and update this real quick. Okay, so 9 products available. And if we just refresh this, it should look exactly kind of the way we want it. Now, it should look all uniform, all very clean. Just give that a minute. Okay. Yes, it does look all uniform, look very clean. Now, we have this one product kind of hanging out here with no other products with this empty space, and that just doesn't look good to me. So what we could do is let's just check out kind of some settings here. We can edit the product item style. I don't know if I really want to do that, but what I do want to do is I want to show, let's say 10 products. Let's say 9 products in this case, or 8. Yeah, 8 products is good. Let's stick to 8. And I can obviously edit how many products are there in the row here, but that's not interesting to me currently as we speak. Just not something I want to focus on. We could obviously edit the item style. So in this case, we have item style number 6. Let's just give it a second to preview item style number 5. See if it makes that much of a difference for our design. And let's reload real quick just for speed's sake. Let's go back here. It should load up in just a second. Remember, guys, this new design for Shopify is a little bit buggy. So Shopify has changed their user interface. So it could be a little bit buggy. But you could see here now the actual design is different, right? So we have this design now. So it's up to you kind of what style you like. So if I go back here and I just view style, let's say number 3. Let's see what style number 3 looks like. And if I go back here and I refresh, it should take a few seconds. So this is style number 3. I like style number 3 a lot. What do you guys think? You guys will let me know. But if the colors get in the way, I think this looks pretty decent for what we're doing. But we have men's and we have women's. So with women's, we have these 3 products hanging out. So we'll have the same thing. So we might as well just select 8 products for women. So let's go to V3 here, and let's select 8. So 8, let's hit save. All right, let's go to women's, and there you go. We have 8 products for women's. Now, in order for this kind of setup or this style to look good, we would have to have this text to look a little bit different. Maybe it would be orange or ready to start off with, but we'll not worry too much about that for now. So this is exactly how you create and manipulate and implement, actually, your products for your store. Okay, let's move on to the next lesson. Okay, so split banners, we want to have some sort of matching theme. Okay, so with a split banner, you really have to analyze your products, what you have for sale, what you have available. And the reason why that's important is because consumers want to see segmentation in your product. So, for example, this is a men's and women's clothing store. Well, an idea of that is we have men and women coming to our clothing store. We want to present to them what they're most likely going to buy as soon as possible, right? So let's go ahead and hit slideshow here, or let's go back here rather, and let's hit banner. Now, there's going to be different banners that you can add with this theme. You can use whatever theme you want, but let's just go ahead and select banner. And for our first banner image, we have setting number 1, okay, which is this image right here, and we have setting number 2 for this banner image. So ideally, we have men's and women's products, so we would want to split the banners into something that's kind of equal or similar. So let's click on this. Let's see how this looks. So we have a split banner here. Maybe we could just click around and see kind of how other products are shaped. Let's see here. So this kind of looks good. We have a whole bunch of different products. The nice thing with working with a brand like this is that they have a lot of images that we can upload and test, and see what looks good and what kind of doesn't look good. So we can try a whole bunch of different things, right? We have a whole bunch of different images to select from. So like I said, you want to upload different images and test and see kind of how they look. You want to have some uniformity, obviously. So if one image, is one size, you want to have another image kind of correlating. And you want to show also a clear difference between the two. So imagine if this was image number 1, and let's say this would be image number 2. This is not really an ideal way to utilize your split banners, because the concept is we're selling men's and women's products here and then men's and women's here. So we want to separate the identities. So we have an image here, let's say, and let's see if this image the images sizes don't match, so we don't want to go with this. We want to make sure the image sizes match. So maybe we can click on, for example, this, right? The basic store that we have available here, or the photos rather, is we have a few different images that will show. Like, for example, this one, we have this image, right? Just kind of like how we had in the demo store that I created. And we have, let's just go ahead and load more so we can preview, and we have this one. So you can see here there's a huge difference. So, for example, on the right, I would say something like maybe workout programs, and on the left, it would be something like workout clothing, right? So it would be a little bit different. We can edit, obviously, the button colors and things like that. But this is just a decent place to start with our split banners. Okay, so something that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be editing our split banners. You're going to find that there are times where you need to edit the content on your website, just like I have here. Now, if you guys remember, the whole point of a split banner was that we can basically segment our products on our website, right? So we have men's and women's products, so we want to make one for men's and one for women's. Well, it just so happens that I have the content for that, so let's go ahead and change things up. So, for example, I have this image, right? And I have this image, whichever image might be better for women. So let's select this one. And for men's, I'll select, let's say, this image, right? And you can see here they're both the exact same size, and they look really, really well together, right? So it just shows and accentuates the different features of the theme, where you can have sportswear and you can have clothing for going out, right? Both for men and women's. And we can, play around with the different settings and the different images. So if we don't like this image, we could test how this one looks, or maybe how this one looks, right? Maybe this one looks a little bit better, and that's what I want to go with. So I'll just select on that one, and that's kind of the way I design it. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to edit the text on the split banners. So in this case, I want to have my text white, right? Because the background is a little bit lighter. And it says here best sellers. Let's make this text white. Okay, and so this part should be white. We can also change up the color. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be white. It could have a light gray tint to it. It could have a red tint. We could do all different things. I'm going to stick with white here. Let's go ahead and stick with white. So there we go. I know that white's going to come out really, really good with this image. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go with white right there. And white right there. Right? So here, some text. And let's make the button white also. Okay. So the color button white should be this button here, and that's going to take a little bit of time to change once I just save the settings, because it's not necessarily text. And let's change that here. We can always also change the color, any kind of color we want within this gradient. So if I wanted to make it like a blue, or if I wanted to match the colors that I have here, like an orange, yellow kind of thing, I can also do that. So let's just say I wanted it to be, whatever we want. So let's say it's a orangish yellow type color, and we could just test and see how that would look. So that orange yellow. So that's not really my style. I don't think that looks too good. So I'll keep the let's just keep the white. The white looks good enough. So we could do that. And let's keep that white also. So let's go ahead and save our progress, kind of assert how things look, and let's give it a shot here. And so far, I mean, it looks decent. As this is loading, the button color will change. But something we need to do also is we need to make sure that our split banners match the right product. So in this case, we have our all products for banner 1, and obviously we don't want all products. We want it to be women's products. So let's hit collections here, and let's search for women's, and that will lead to women's, right? And for men's, we obviously don't want all products. We want it to be men's. So let's click here. Let's hit men's. And let's hit save. Okay. And let's just go back. And once we refresh this, or even website preview, we'll be able to kind of see everything in the aspect that we want to see it. So if I just hit, it's actually refreshing for us, so I don't really need to do that. But let's just give it a second here. Let's scroll down. So there we go. If we click on it, it will take us straight to our background. Or not our background, our collections page of products. Or that's what it should do at least. And there we go. It's taken us to the collection page of all the men's products. What it did do is took us to the wrong collection, so I'm going to have to make those kind of changes on my own time. All right, so that's something you want to pay attention to. Let's go ahead and talk about how to create a newsletter pop-up, okay? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go to online store, and we want to hit customize again, okay? Now, what is a newsletter pop-up? A newsletter pop-up is just a little box that pops up that says, some kind of promotional incentivization message in return for an email. And the reason why that whole concept is important, right, and actually just flash the screen, the reason why that whole concept is important in the business world is because when people visit your website, they're not always interested in purchasing your product right away, right? They might be interested in purchasing later, an hour later, a day later. Maybe they're waiting for a special discount, right? There's different types of buyer identities, but at least the newsletter pop-up will allow us to capture the lead and be able to interact with that lead a little bit later. So if we just go over here to our theme settings, right, and to get to our theme settings, we just go on the bottom, hit theme settings. There's different settings that we have, okay? And so one of the settings that we're actually looking for, guys, is the pop-up, right? And not top bar, but pop-up theme right here. And so we can choose to enable it, and we want to add an image for the pop-up. So let's select an image, and it could be any image. So it could be an image, let's say like this, that just represents the brand well. Maybe even like this might be a little bit better. And let's just go ahead and wait for it to load. Okay, we can even add a logo to it. I technically don't really add logos to it. I think it looks cleaner without the logo, but you guys can kind of make that decision on your own. And let's just wait for it to load. I'll hit save. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just go preview the website. So I'm going to type in the website domain here. So alphaliteremix.myshopify.com. I might even have to I'm going to have to do it in an incognito tab. So alphaliteremix.myshopify.com. We'll see a pop-up. There we go. So the pop-up will look kind of like this. It says join our mailing list. We can add some prerequisite text right there. And the image is right here to represent the brand. So why do we do this? Like I said, we do this to capture emails. And now every single person who's watching this knows exactly what to do to create a pop-up. One of the type of pages that we need is an About Us page. So to create an About Us page, we just go to Add Page, and we go to About Us. So there's two versions. I'm going to select the first one again, and I'm just going to give it a title that says About Us. I'm going to hit Save, and I'm going to go ahead and preview the page by hitting View Page. And so this is kind of how it looks, right? And I can always edit this. Remember that, guys. I can always edit this specific page by just going to my online store here, right? Or even I could go back to my pages. This would be an easier way. I can click About Us, and I can click More Actions. I can click View Page and then edit the page on right there. Or I would like to actually make it in my navigation menu. So let's say in my main menu, I have an About Us link, right? So let's say About Us. Let's go to Pages and Save. Let's hit Save here. Let's call this Main Menu. And let's go back. So we have the main menu, and while we're at it, we might as well just add our Contact Us. Okay. And we might as well add some products. So we have men's, right? Collection. We have, let's just call it all collections, and this is going to be shop all, right? We're going to have this. We're going to drag it to the top, of course, and we're going to have men's. And we're going to have women's. Let's hit add. And we're going to drag these as a subheading within that link. So in order for somebody to shop all, they would have to drag to men's or women's. So let's go ahead and hit save on that. And let's go to online store. And let's go to customize. So once we have this customized, let's go ahead and see here what's going on. So you can see here there's men's and women's only. But what we need to do to get to this point is we need to switch up our menu. So we have our menu settings here, and we could just change our menu into our main. Let's hit select, and we have our About Us page once again. And to edit any of these tertiary pages, such as About Us, Contact Us, all these different pages, we just click on the actual page, right? It's considered a custom page, and we click on it. We click on the actual, page link here, and we just edit the context. So it could be service 1, it says free shipping. So I'm going to just see where that's located. So let's see here. We have different services. service number 1, free shipping and returns, right? Wherever those services may be. We have different names of people. Maybe we might want to just get rid of all this context. So if we want to get rid of this, we'll just delete it like this, right? So it's a little bit smaller. You know, you guys kind of get the point. You can always add different sections to it, but you have to really watch out with what you're adding. Sometimes it just won't make sense, so you can add just a service or an introduction phase. For me, I would add this first, the introduction. So I would just drag this all the way to the top. Okay. Introduce reasons to shop with us. And, with the reasons to shop with us section, something you want to pay attention to also is the context is right here. So, what you could do is you could technically get rid of the introduction. Let's just get rid of it. Why not, right? And you can add just one. Okay, so something that we want to do is we want to edit our About Us page. And if you notice here in the drop down, there's not necessarily a page for that. So the way we do that is we add the pages to the menu on top, right? So if I'm at the customization location for the theme, we add the pages to the menu on top. And if I want to customize something like the About Us page or Contact Us page or any kind of those tertiary pages, right, that are like frequently asked questions or something like that, I would just click on the actual page. It will show us the data for that page. Click on the Contact Us button and edit it. So I can edit this, like I can select a background image. So once again, if I want to select, let's say, the picture of the gym that I had. So like, let's say this is the picture, right? I can have this picture and it will say something like contact us, but ideally I would want that to be a lighter version of text. So I would have to go into my settings and make those edits, but you can make the changes for the actual banner. So maybe I need something a little bit light colored. So, I don't have too many banners here, but this is just a quick example. So if I clicked on something like this, you can see here it says contact us. Now, this is not necessarily the image I would use unless I'm promoting swimwear, but you guys kind of get the point, right? So you don't want to have an image like this because it will come out pixelated, right? These photos aren't designed really for that, right? You could see here they're all pixelated. They're only pixelated because they're not designed for banner size. They're designed for like photo size, right? So you want to find a banner that fits like the criteria of the page. So in this case, we have black text. And we would have to go into the main topography and color settings to change that. But you can choose to, what banner you want, right? So if you want to just remove the banner and select like a free image that they have available. So if I type in gym, right, and I want something light colored, kind of like this, right? This will work the same way. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do. We can make it kind of like this, right? So that even looks better in my opinion. Hit save, okay? And there's not all the time where I would use my own custom image. I mean, they give us free images. But like I said, you could do the same thing. And we're going to go ahead and do that real quick with the About Us page just so that everybody can see and everybody can understand. So here we have the About Us banner. And we have different like supporting text. And then we have the Reasons to Shop section. We have an Instagram section. All this stuff is within this button right here. It says About Us, and we can actually do some editing. So we have the background image once again. So let's say we wanted to use this image for About Us, right? And obviously this is probably not an image I would use. I would use something more like a banner of some sort that kind of promotes the brand or something like that. But maybe if I typed in workout, this would make a little more sense. Let's see here. Maybe if I clicked on this image. Like I said, you got to kind of pay attention to what kind of banner you're selecting and make sure that it looks good overall. Let's see here. You can edit some text, add some images. So we have so if you look here for the text, it says Justin, whatever. All that stuff is not here. That's actually right here. So service number 1, right? And so service number 1, service number 2, the introduction. So I want to edit the introduction. I would call it, let's say, our team or something like that, right? Our team. Maybe change the description to about us, right? And then add, change the text up here, which is perfectly fine. Then select an image for the team. So maybe it won't be like an image like this. It would be like a team related image with a bunch of people. So let's find one real quick. So maybe something like this, right? With like more than one person. And that's actually works really well for stores that have like about us pages, to have more than one person within the photos and just kind of show like the company and the people. There's a lot of things you can do. Maybe I'll get rid of this introduction portion, right? And so, yeah, that's really it. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory to customize these kind of pages. But nonetheless, if you guys want to do some customizations, now you know how to. Now let's explore lookbooks. So if we go to add section here, there's a section where we can add a lookbook. So let's hit load more. Let's scroll down. Let's hit load more. Now lookbooks are up there, but I just want to scroll down just so we can see everything that we have available to us. And we have lookbook version 1, lookbook version 2. So I generally don't care which one between the two that you select. I think they're both equally very, very nice. So we're going to just select number 2 for the sake of it. Let's hit select here. And basically what we can do is we can add a background image. That's the first thing we can do. Or we could just add different slides to the lookbook. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a slide. And you notice there's an image here. It says 685 by 940. Ideally, you're going to want to have every image the same size. So if I was to select this image here, maybe I would go to a new slide. So I'm going to want to go back here and add a new slide and select. And maybe I want this one, right? Ideally, it would be an image that we haven't used. So in this case, we've used this image. So let's go with this one, right? Or maybe even, let's say this one. Or we could select this one and then go back and then add another slide and make it this, like this one right here. So something like this would be a lookbook. Now we can actually add what product is in the lookbook. So the way that would work is we have select product 1 and we look like, let's say this is the product, hit select. You're going to see like a little number 1 on the photo, right? In this case, it's the wrong photo. So let's go back and remove. Let's go to slide 1. Let's hit the product, hit select, and there we go. So we have a product 1 here. Right, when people click on it, there will be a little pop-up, okay? And I'll show you guys how that looks in a minute. This is, let's say, product number 2. So let's scroll down to product number 2 and click on this t-shirt, right? And let's go back here and go to slide number 3 and go for product number 3 and select the product for product number 3. So let's just say it's this one right here. So you could see here the numbers are pasted on the images. Let's hit save. And let's actually preview how this all looks. So let's go to our home page. And it should be already preloaded for us. So let's scroll down. Okay, clearly it didn't load itself yet. So now it did. So let's go ahead and reload again. We can see here, there we go, it's loaded in. So we can hit the number 1. And you could see here, that's a pop-up of the actual product, another pop-up of the product, and another pop-up of the product. So you can see they match. You want to have the same matching products when you do this, and it's all products that you can select. Now we can edit the text. So if we go back here, and we go here, and we could just edit the text. So instead of spring lookbook, we could write summer lookbook, and it will be all in caps. And it doesn't have to be all in caps, by the way. Just kind of how you want to set it up and how you want to design it. The description, we can leave the description the way it is, or you can edit it, or you can just get rid of it altogether. When it comes to design, something you want to focus is, it's a very creative kind of sense. If you want to add a background image, we can add one. So, if I wanted to add like a photo of, let's say, the gym as the background, I can do that. Do I recommend it? Not necessarily. It just, obviously you want to have some kind of background, but you don't want to have a background like this. In the next episode, I'm going to show you how to design. Okay, so what you could see going on here is I'm on Canva, and our goal is to create a background for this whole section here on the lookbook. So ideally, like if it's summer, I could have pictures that relate to like a summer lookbook. In this case, I'm going to write fall because it just makes me feel like this is fall. So something that you want to do is like be a little creative. So something that I like to do, and I'll share this with you guys, is I like to go to elements within Canva and search for something like leaves, right? Or like fall or something like that. And you can see different like photos of fall. You can add like certain photos kind of like this to your lookbook background. Be a little kind of creative with how it looks and just get a little an idea. And by pulling up like the scene of how it would look, we could add different, like I said, different leaves. And we could change the colors of how they look. So we can add like an orange right here. And we can make this like a brown, right? So we could make that like a brown. And we could duplicate this image, and we can make it bigger or smaller. And the whole point with this is just be creative. That's really the whole concept with these backgrounds. You don't have to have it set up a certain way or, designed a certain way. But, people like the customization and having a beautiful website. And part of having a really, really interactive and beautiful website is the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it designs, we can, duplicate these and kind of do different colors. So we could do like a red, right? Like for like a red leaf with almost like a black here. And we can multiply those. And we can angle them different, right? And move them around. And just make something that looks something like that represents fall, or just a background that I would personally enjoy, right? It doesn't have to be the same all throughout. So I can make this one be like a yellow leaf, right? We can add more yellow colors. Maybe I like this kind of leaf or this kind of leaf, right? Or maybe I want to make it one piece, kind of like this, and just duplicate those and just drag around, right? And create like a little animation. Where I got this this motivation to do this is I was looking within different theme demos, and I saw that they did stuff like this. And I thought, hey, that's like an interactive, cool little thing that you could do for your website. And, who wouldn't want to do it if it makes your website look just a little bit better, right? So something like this, make it a tiny bit smaller, move it to the side. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be the same all the time. So we have red leaves, right? Something just that represents fall. Okay. Or maybe point this one around. And you can see here that looks pretty decent. We can duplicate this over, right? Make it look kind of like that. And just move some stuff here. And then we could just download this. And let's download it as a transparent file. And we don't have to download it necessarily as a transparent, but it's really up to you. And let's just drag it and drop it right here. Let's just see how beautiful it may look. So there you go. Look how clean that looks. It looks really, really nice. And depending on what device size you might have, right, if you're on mobile, the lookbook is going to look a little bit differently. See? Now, we didn't create the mobile settings yet, but we'll work into that in just a few minutes, right? So clearly looks really, really good. So let's move on. Okay, so let's discuss how to add images to our theme and to our website here. So we can add images in two different ways. So we can go to, for example, like a banner or something like that, hit change, and then just upload a bunch of content here. But there's other ways to kind of do that, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So if you could see here, I downloaded a bunch of images. If I could just take it, drag it, and drop it, it will be uploaded right here. Or what I could do is I could head over to my Shopify homepage. So I could go to exit and I could type in files. And you'll see here an option for files. Let's click on that. And it will load all of the files. And we could just hit upload files here and we could just drag and drop all of the images that we want to add and hit open. You'll see they're actually going to start to load. There's this little green bar that's considered a loading bar that's loaded everything. So the reason why I added all these images is this is something you're going to want to do too, is you're going to want to have to accumulate all of your content before you begin your theme design. You want to have generally similar sizes, and you want to have like a mock-up of an idea of how your theme should look or how your website should look. And that's why this course is for, right? So we can guide you through that. But you definitely want to upload some content, and that's just something, a little tip that I found that makes life a little bit easier throughout the whole building process. Okay, so let's move on. Since we now know how to create pop-ups, something we need to know how to create is a contact us page, frequently asked questions page, all these different pages that we discussed before. Well, to do that, we need to go over here to the pages button. Okay, and you can see here that I have no pages created. I have to actually create these pages within Shopify, right? So I'm going to hit add page here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the page a name. Let's say it's contact us, right? We want a place where our consumers can contact us. And we just go over here to contact us. We can select version 1 or version 2. I'll just select version 1, right? And hit save. And we can actually preview how that looks. So if we view online store, right? Boom, there we go. So we can add a banner, right? And we can add a contact us. Let's go ahead and take a look at what number 2 looks like. So to switch from number 1 to number 2, we just select number 2, right? Contact us version 2. Let's hit save. And let's go ahead and hit preview here. And so this is a little bit different. You can see here there's some text. There is some information here, some names, some email, messages, and also the banner. So it's up to you kind of what style you like. For simplicity purposes, I like version 1. It's just a little bit easier. It takes the headache away from the customer about worrying about your location, things like that, and they could just visit your, just send you a message right away. One of the type of pages that we need is an About Us page. So to create an About Us page, we just go to Add Page, and we go to About Us. So there's 2 versions. I'm going to select the first one again, and I'm just going to give it a title that says About Us. I'm going to hit Save, and I'm going to go ahead and preview the page by hitting View Page. And so this is kind of how it looks, right? And I can always edit this. Remember that, guys. I can always edit this specific page by just going to my online store here, right? Or even I could go back to my pages. This would be an easier way. I can click About Us, and I can click More Actions. I can click View Page and then edit the page on right there. Or I would like to actually make it in my navigation menu. So let's say in my main menu, I have an About Us link, right? So let's say About Us. Let's go to Pages and Save. Let's hit Save here. Let's call this Main Menu. And let's go back. So we have the main menu, and while we're at it, we might as well just add our Contact Us. Okay. And we might as well add some products. So we have men's, right? Collection. We have, let's just call it all collections, and this is going to be shop all, right? we're going to have this. We're going to drag it to the top, of course, and we're going to have men's. And we're going to have women's. Let's hit add. And we're going to drag these as a subheading within that link. So in order for somebody to shop all, they would have to drag to men's or women's. So let's go ahead and hit save on that. And let's go to online store. And let's go to customize. So once we have this customized, let's go ahead and see here what's going on. So you can see here there's men's and women's only. But what we need to do to get to this point is we need to switch up our menu. So we have our menu settings here, and we could just change our menu into our main. Let's hit select, and we have our About Us page once again. And to edit any of these tertiary pages, such as About Us, Contact Us, all these different pages, we just click on the actual page, right? It's considered a custom page, and we click on it. We click on the actual, page link here, and we just edit the context. So it could be service 1, it says free shipping. So I'm going to just see where that's located. So let's see here. We have different services. Service number 1, free shipping and returns, right? Wherever those services may be. We have different names of people. Maybe we might want to just get rid of all this context. So if we want to get rid of this, we'll just delete it like this, right? So it's a little bit smaller. You guys kind of get the point. You can always add different sections to it, but you have to really watch out with what you're adding. Sometimes it just won't make sense, so you can add just a service or an introduction phase. For me, I would add this first, the introduction. So I would just drag this all the way to the top. Okay. Introduce reasons to shop with us. And, with the reasons to shop with us section, something you want to pay attention to also is the context is right here. So, what you could do is you could technically get rid of the introduction. Let's just get rid of it. Why not, right? And you can add just one. Okay, so now that we learned how to create a contact us page, you can see here there's a lot more pages that we can create. And so that's something we're going to actually want to do. So let's go ahead and go back here and let's create a wish list page. So basically what a wish list is if I just go ahead and type in the website here, affiliateremix.myshopify.com, you could see here on the products, there's a little heart button, right? And for order for people to be able to save a product to the wish list, they have to hit this little heart button. But if I click on it, you could see here, it just reloads the website. And that's because there's no true wish list page. If there was a wish list page, it would take me to a place where I can create an account, right? And once I create the account, it will show me my wish list. So I'm going to have to create a wish list page. So I'm just going to call this wish list, right? And I'm going to select wish list here and hit save. Now there's not much I have to write or I have to do. Everything is built in for me. If I just go ahead and view page, it will show me what the wish list page looks like, right? So it says, please log in, register now. So obviously I'm not registered. So there's nothing that's going to be shown. But if I'm a consumer and I saved some stuff and I want to come back to it, the wish list page is going to be there. I tend to find that wish lists are not used as frequently in today's world. However, they are still used, right? So if you're a very big company with millions of traffic every month, they're definitely going to be used, right? Like if you get a million traffic, you can expect like 40 to 50,000 people use the wish list. But they're definitely not used as frequently, right? Back in 05 and 04, people would use wish lists all the time. More than half of your website traffic would be saving wish lists and saving products for later. Typically, we find that when the brand is a little bit bigger and there's more people that come to that brand, the more the wish list will be saved and used, right? You want to have your website almost like as a hallmark for people that they keep coming back to consistently for data, for information, for new products to purchase. Since we now know how to create pop-ups, something we need to know how to create is a contact us page, frequently asked questions page, all these different pages that we discussed before. Well, to do that, we need to go over here to the pages button. Okay, and you can see here that I have no pages created. I have to actually create these pages within Shopify, right? So I'm going to hit add page here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the page a name. Let's say it's contact us, right? We want a place where our consumers can contact us. And we just go over here to contact us. We can select version 1 or version 2. I'll just select version 1, right? And hit save. And we can actually preview how that looks. So if we view online store, right? Boom, there we go. So we can add a banner, right? And we can add a contact us. Let's go ahead and take a look at what number 2 looks like. So to switch from number 1 to number 2, we just select number 2, right? Contact us version 2. Let's hit save. And let's go ahead and hit preview here. And so this is a little bit different. You can see here there's some text. There is some information here, some names, some email messages, and also the banner. So it's up to you kind of what style you like. For simplicity purposes, I like version 1. It's just a little bit easier. It takes the headache away from the customer about worrying about your location, things like that, and they could just visit your, to send you a message right away. Okay guys, welcome to lesson number 5, where we talk about performing SEO for products. So this is just a small little, segment on SEO. There's definitely ways that we could talk for hours and hours and hours on SEO, but what SEO just means is that it stands for search engine optimization. And basically, if you don't know what a search engine is, for example, google.com, yahoo.com, bing.com. These are all examples of search engines. And basically what SEO is where you optimize your website for a search engine. Now, part of that optimization that you could do on Shopify is making sure that you're telling Google, hey, I want to rank for this specific keyword. So in this case, if I was selling this t-shirt, like if I was truly selling it, right? Let me just click on the t-shirt. We call this t-shirt a blackout tee, right? If I was truly selling this t-shirt, I would want to rank on Google for the keyword blackout tee so that when anybody searches for it, they could see my product. Well, how can I tell Google that I want to rank? Well, this is something that you guys are going to want to do with every product that you have. You're going to have the keyword that you want to rank for in the title of your product. You want to have it somewhere in the description, and you want to have it as the product type, and you want to have it as a tag. So this is just a little trick that I do to make sure that I rank on Google, or at least I'm telling Google, hey, I want to rank for this keyword. See, what happens is Google ranks off of something referred to as keyword density. And like I said, we could talk about this a lot. But keyword density just means how many times is that keyword dense? How dense is it? How many times is it found within the web page? So if I add blackout tee here, right? And if I add it here, right? And I have it in my description somewhere, even though it might not be, but let's just say it is, and let's say it's here. I hit save. Now, when Google starts to crawl the website, they can tell, and they can say, okay, clearly this website wants to rank for blackout tee. Another way to another thing you want to pay attention to is alt text. So whenever you had an image, you want to tell Google, what is this image, right? So you just hit add alt text, and you add the keyword in your alt text. Let's hit save alt text here. And let's go ahead and get rid of this and do the same thing for every product, right? And you can actually test different keywords and things like that for different alt texts. But overall, it's kind of a good approach to have, right? And the reason why is because if you get an extra 100 visitors a month, 200, 50, 20, whatever the number is, it's basically getting free traffic to your website that you don't have to pay for. So this is why we do SEO, and this is actually how we do SEO. All right, guys? So let's move. Okay, so one of the next aspects of things that we could talk about is the brand feature within the theme, right? And this is not just this theme. Other themes have this too. The brand feature is a place where you can kind of showcase within your web design the ideal brand that you encompass or that you have, something that you can showcase. A place to do that is right here. So that's kind of like the way it looks. You can be very creative with this. This is not something that I personally use in my designs, but you can utilize it in yours. If you have like different benefits to your store, like free shipping or fast shipping or a quality guarantee of some sort, this is a place where you can make any kind of those promises, by just adding the little icons, right? So is this something that I would personally use? Probably not. But, if that's something that you guys want to do, now you know how to do it, right? We can take a look at some collections. So basically the way collections are presented is a little bit differently. And every situation is a little bit different. So let's go ahead and add each collection feature. So we have collection sub 1, collection sub 2, collection sub 3, collection sub 5, and let's go to collection sub version 1 or version 4, and let's go to another one of collection sub 1. Okay, so this should be good. All right, now that's a whole lot on our store. It hasn't loaded yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit save, okay, and just wait for this to save, and then we're going to get deep into like editing it and taking a look at what the features can provide us. So now that it's all loaded, this looks like a whole lot of nonsense. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it really looks like. So we can select collections to promote. So if I want to select like the bras collection, right, and hit select, that's a collection that I can technically promote, right? If I want to select another collection, let's say leggings, and let's say one more selection of let's pick another woman's product. So let's pick swimwear. Okay, we have 3 collections there. All right, let's go back. Now we can add breadcrumbs and things like that, or but let's just not even worry about that right now. Let's just hit save. Okay, let's just wait for that to load. It'll take a minute right there because it's a lot of content. But what you're seeing here is that it's still gray. Like it doesn't change. But the reason why it's not changing is because we don't have images for the specific collections. Okay, we're going to want to add images for the collection that we've designed, right? So we created a little focal point for our collections. Let's say I want to have this background. This is just for, like I said, experimentation purposes, for me to go ahead and just describe how things kind of look like, right? So you have this little banner, right? You're going to want to add a banner, and you have the products underneath it. Now, why isn't anything showing up? Well, there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it hasn't loaded yet. And number 2, we haven't added images to these specific collections. So let's just give it a minute for it to save, right? And let's go ahead and just preview the actual web page, like all over again, right? Let's see how things change, right? And you can see here, it's the same concept. So what we're going to have to do is this 558 by 700 is where we can add images. Now, you could see here, there's no place to add them here. Like if I select here, there's no place to add them here. But what I can do is I can go and hit edit collection, right? And with this edit collection, right, it'll pull up the collection. We need to add a collection image. So like we've had earlier, different collection images. So we can add a collection image for each section. Let's hit save, right? Let's go back to all the collections. We have the, what was the other collections that we discussed? We had bras, we had swimwear. So let's go to swimwear. And let's add a picture of, let's do it this way. Let's just add some default images. And of course, these are not the images that we'd necessarily use, but this does work well enough for us. Now let's just reload this, kind of prepare it. So you can see here, it's kind of like a focal point. You see what I'm saying? So is this something that I would necessarily do? Probably not, just for the sake of design. I don't think I would make it that important on the website where it needs to have a full page, kind of the way it is. Are there moments that you would have something like that? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like leggings, let's say. here. And sometimes it does change once you have all the images. But, let's just say we go with this image for the leggings. And let's hit save. Let's just refresh this again. It's obviously ideal to, you could use it. You just have to be creative as to how you would utilize something like this. Clearly, it's not something that I would use, and I've kind of explained that before. But like I said, do whatever floats your boat when it comes to design. Is this something that I would use? Probably not. So I would get rid of these collections. You can show them off, and different collections have different benefits, by the way. So, if you can, you might want to add 3 collections per row, for example, and it will change the look entirely. So it's not necessarily it has to be one full page. It could be something like this, right? So it's up to you kind of how you want to set it up. It's not like it's required to have a certain setup, but we can, just for fun's sake, I can show you guys how it looks for all 3. So, let me select the same ones here. We have bras. We have, let's go back. We have swimwear. Let me select that. This is the next version of the collection Spotlight, all right? And we have one more. We have leggings. So that's 3 right there. And we can make the setting of let's say 3 per row. So it looks similar. So you can see here, it's a little bit different. It looks similar, but it's not. Let's go to collection number 5. Let's do the same thing. Right? So bras. Let's go back here. Let's select 3 collections. We have leggings. And we have swimwear. Right? So this is similar. Right? You can see here they're all kind of similar, depending on the design. But there are certain designs that I would go with, certain designs that I wouldn't. This is typically something that I would use maybe once in a while. It's not something that I would do all the time necessarily. But the benefit is it will take you to the actual collection that it correlates with, which is a benefit design. It's kind of up to you how you kind of want to set it up. But let's go back and customize here. Let's just make sure that's not available on our website any longer. Okay, it is, so we might as well get rid of them. So remove. So remove. So now that you guys know how to do this, the good news is that you can kind of do it whenever you want. So that's the good news, right? So we'll go ahead and just remove that too. Even though it does look nice, but we're going to remove it. Some other features, guys, is we can add an About Us section. Like I said, it's kind of up to you to add this About Us section. It's not something that I would do. What you guys are seeing is different features that we can add. Like we can add, a frequently asked questions page on the actual checkout page, right? And we can edit the frequently asked questions. We could do a lot. So frequently asked questions on the left, right? So these are all the questions that are occurring. We can select a background. We can disable it too. So be something like this. And that's basically it. That's something that I would include in my homepage. We can include a few more other things like a map. We have a gallery grid. Gallery grids are really, really nice. I like gallery grids, and I'll kind of show you guys how those images kind of look, right? So important to make all your images roughly the same size for your gallery grid, right? So some images are clearly, larger than others, but you want them to be, about the same size so that it has a uniform look. Let's go ahead and add some more. Let's go ahead and add another photo in the middle here. Let's see what's going to look nice. Top it all off. Maybe something like this, right? So clearly not the same size. Something I will do is I'll edit that size. So maybe make this, can it be a different image? Yeah, it could be a different image. So something like that, maybe, kind of how you want to design it. So yeah, let's see here what we can do. You want to definitely test different images, and each gallery, by the way, people can click view, right? Zoom in, zoom out, move on to the next image, zoom in, go to the next one. So that's something to keep in mind. We have the email section here added after the frequently asked questions, which is another feature that you can add, right? So you can remove this. In terms of design, I would keep this, just for the feature of it. Editing the text, pretty self-explanatory, right? Instead of our photo gallery, maybe take a look at what we offer, something like that. And let me just make sure my spelling is right. So that's something you may want to do too. You can remove text altogether also. So if you want it gone, you could do that. But in this case, I'm just going to write gallery, put a period, hit save. So there's different things you can do with different features. Overall, if I was to set up the requirements, there are things that you want to have in your Shopify store as requirements, and that's what we're gonna talk about. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to be exploring the different banners and different tools that we can utilize within the theme to make it look a little bit better and to add a little bit more features. So just for clarification, we have a hero banner. We have 2 split banners that are as a paired couple, right? We have our best sellers. We can, change the text. We can change the setup of the images. We can change how everything is viewed, things like that. Let's see what else we can add. We have a section that we can add. So we can add blog sections. So if we want to add blog sections, we can give it a test. Let's go ahead and add blog version 2. And then let's go ahead and add blog version 1. Let's compare kind of the way they look. So let's go to blog 1, which is what we're staring at now. And let's go ahead and just select a blog. And let's hit news. And let's hit save. So this is blog section, I believe 1, which is... let's just place it above number 2. So everything that's being highlighted is considered blog section 1, right? So this section right here is blog section 1. So ideally, the way it would work is we would have our list of blogs out like this, and then we'd have our next main blog available right here. And we can change kind of how the text is aligning, center, middle, etc. Or we can just edit blog number 2. So in this case, select a blog. I'll select news also, and let's see kind of how it looks. And it's actually kind of very similar. You could see here, it's got this green, almost film around it. And like I said, we can edit this stuff. We can limit the amount of blogs being shown. So in this case, if I wanted to show, for example, no more than 2 blogs, right? So I could do that. I could actually do that. So if I wanted to show, let's say I didn't want to show the category, or I just wanted to show not the date, just the title, and maybe a button, right? And remove the excerpt. We can do that. So there's a lot of stuff we can do with blogs. Now, I haven't built out enough blogs for this to look good, but if we just hit save here, we can view how our blogs actually look like. So if there's a consumer looking through and they see, oh, I want to read this blog, right? They'll hit the read more button, and it will take them to the blogged page. Now, the reason why I like this is because the blog looks real creative, real nice, right? So we have a blog here, a blog post here, 2 blog posts here. We have article pages, right? We can edit the article pages. We can edit, show if the recent posts. We can do a lot of different things with our blogs. On the right side, we have a right sidebar where people can search for certain blogs. We can search for certain different texts that come up. We can toggle our blogs through tags, which is crucially important also and helps through SEO. We have our nice header here, which looks beautiful. So overall, every store, in my opinion at least, needs a blog. Every store. It just looks good. It just looks beautiful, and it gets the job done. All right, so let's go back to customize here, and let's talk about what else we can add. Okay, let's talk about Instagram. So you could see here that we have a banner, we have some split banners. The one thing that's left to do, that's almost a necessity, is to show our social media, to promote ourselves. And that's going to be done through Instagram, right? Instagram is one of those things that every website or every business kind of should have on their profile page or on their homepage or something like that to promote themselves. Now, we have two options for Instagram. To be able to access these two options, just hit add setting, scroll down to Instagram, and you'll find it. Now, like I said, not all themes are created equal. Some themes might not have those features, but that's like something you want to pay attention to when selecting your theme. Now, with Instagram, right, there's Instagram version 1, Instagram version 2. I can't actually connect my personal Instagram here. And the reason why that I can't do it, but you guys can, is because my Instagram is a personal Instagram account. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a business Instagram account. And when you do this here, you're going to add your user ID and your access token. All of these are very, very easy to get. Just search, for example, on Google, search Instagram user ID. And there's a software right here where you paste in your user ID like this, or your user ID. So I already typed it in like this, and it says find user. Now it's not going to actually work because it's not a business Instagram, but if it was a business Instagram, it would work and it would come up with the ID. For the access token, you would search Instagram, right? Access token generator, and it will show you how to get it within the information. So with Facebook, they kind of show you how to access the access token. Now, with that being said, okay, guys, something that we are going to want to do here is we're going to want to see how does an Instagram kind of gallery look like. And it's actually really simple. So I pulled up the theme demo just to give you an example of the exact theme that I'm using. And this is kind of their Instagram thing that they have right here. So you could see this is exactly how it looks like. So basically the concept is you want to have images and you want to have like a shop it button, right? And this is all created within the Instagram, and it will preload the images for you, right? So in this case, if we go to Alphalite's, their Instagram, so let's go to Instagram here and search Alphalite Athletics, right? Search Alpha Elite. Let's just click on it. This would be their Instagram, and all these photos would replace the order for these photos, okay? So that's with Instagram. Like I said, you want to play around with it. There's version 1 and version 2. In this case, we're obviously not going to include it, so we can either hide them or we can just delete them altogether, right? Now, we can add galleries, but that will be in a whole different conversation in a different episode. Okay, so let's get into lesson number 13, where we talk about editing the collections page. So to do that, let's head over back to our editing station here within Shopify. You could see here how our website is actually coming together really, really nice. We have our banners, right, that consumers can click through, right? It has a animation that it's almost like zooming out in a way. We have our images here that when you take your mouse and hover in, it zooms in, right? We have our best-selling products for each niche or each section within our website, right? We have men's, we have women's. It's all configured in a very clean, very professional look, okay? So what our next step of action is to edit our collections page. So to do that, we have an editing station here, right? And we can edit different aspects. But what if we want to edit a little more? We want to get a little bit more nitty-gritty, right? Well, it's very simple. Let's just go ahead and navigate to our collections page. And what you're going to be seeing here is this little like section where you can kind of choose where you're editing or what you're editing. And to do that, we kind of just got to that page. You want to get to that page. And now we can make some edits. Now, to be clear, not every collections page is going to necessarily look like this, right? Like we have pagination down here, right? Which basically means that people can switch through different pages of products, right? We have a whole list of different products, right? In our case, this is a little bit different. A lot of people's collection pages are kind of designed differently, meaning they just have like a product grid. I realized that this is the collection page that really drastically helps conversion rates, because what's happening here is that it's giving information on the product, right? And it's giving you an image of the product, a clear image of the product, and then you have options here, right? You can select an option to purchase, you can quick view the product. There's a lot of things you can do. The first thing that we're going to want to do, let's just go ahead and head back here to our setting on our collections page, right? And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to head over to our header. The first thing we need to do is have a logo, right? It has to make sense. It has to look good. So we have a logo here that says enable sticky, but this is not the same case all the time, meaning on our header, if you look here, it says header homepage, we have a logo available. But what about the rest of our website? And so that's how we navigate right here. It says header, other pages, and we can select our logo. So let's go ahead and scroll here to our logo and hit select. Now, great, our logo's finally here. The problem is now the website looks a little ugly with a really, really big logo. At the end of the day, this is not conversion optimized when you have a very big logo, right? People are not purchasing your products for your logo. They're purchasing for what you have to offer. So what we need to do is make this logo smaller. There's no, and thankfully with the theme, we don't have to do any graphical editing. We can just drag this little slider and make it smaller. So let's see what the small size looks like. This small size is a little bit too small for me. So let me go to 70 maybe. This is actually good enough, right? Now, we can make some edits to the header, right? We can change colors, like different text colors. We can make the background black, right? And we can make the text white if that kind of improves something, right? Or excuse me, white. And we can make the background black. There's a lot of things we can do. In my case, I don't like to have a black background, right? I don't like it at all. But, that's something that sometimes people like to do. In my case, I like to have a transparent background. You see here, and this is something you guys seen time and time again. In my case, I'll just make this portion black also, so the text will be black, right? And so we have our logo, we have our links, we have our black buttons, okay? Now, we have a banner. So with this banner, this is designed within the collections page, right? So with our collections page, these are the styling we can edit here. So we have style 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 different styles. Style 1, and let's just go ahead and view it, is going to be kind of like this. Like it's all crammed up. It doesn't actually look good. In my opinion, it doesn't fit the design. Like if you're going to have a header up here that's not transparent, you can't have style 1. Style 2 is a little bit more spacious, but very similar to style 1. Style 3 is, I believe, what we previously had, or no, what we didn't have. Style 4 was what we previously had. If I do select style 3, you guys will see it kind of like in the meantime, where it's not these icons and these images are not actually vertical like this. They're actually horizontal once the page is published. So let's go ahead and just view how that looks real quick. So it looks kind of like this. So if I wanted to, I can make the background, right, something like a banner. So if I was to select this as my banner, right, and hit select, this is going to load my banner onto this. And let's go ahead and hit save. And so it's going to just preload everything for us. Okay. Let's just give it a minute here. Sometimes, like I said, things could take a little bit longer if the images are more, heavy duty. And then we're just going to click here, enable background image. It should only take a second or two. Let's hit save once again. And you can see here, this is the image that we have as the background. Now you're going to be seeing that there's a lot of things that we're going to have to make changes to throughout the course here. So the course of the website design. Why is that? So we have our logo. We have our text, but we can't read it anymore because the way our banner is designed. So what we're actually going to have to do is make some edits now. And if we scroll down, you could see here that our header is like dark, and so is our text, and we also can't see. So we're going to have to make some changes, okay? So something we need is that the text to be like an orange, light orange color at all times. So how are we going to do that? Let's go ahead and go back to our header. Okay, and let's just make sure that our header on the other home pages, such as this one, is orange. So let's just go to the orange here, or maybe even select colors that we've already used. You can see here now it's orange. So now it's a little bit more feasible to read and to see. Okay, now if I scroll down, right, what we should be seeing, let me go back here, what I should be seeing is a little header, like a sticky header, that will come up in just a minute. Like I said, and this is something that you're going to have to do when you're editing your theme. So just give it a second here. Okay, so you see how it scrolls down like this? Now it's visible when it's black, which is very, very clean. You see how the rest of the website has this kind of white design, transparent. If I scroll down, it's this black feature, which looks very, very nice. Okay, so now the actual images here. I have to edit these images and I have to make sure all of this kind of makes sense and it's readable. In my case, I don't want to necessarily go with this collection design, but for the sake of this video, I mean, why not, right? So how we're going to do that? We do that simply through here. So if we go to the collection page, right, this collection page right here, and we scroll down to settings, theme settings, we have the option now to edit every single one of these little buttons, I guess you can say, right? And so we have all items, we have accessories. I know it's a little hard to read, but we can just change the color of the title like in red so that you guys can see here of this specific button, right? So in red, make this, let's say red, and make this red, right? And maybe it'll be a little bit more visible. But what I can do is I can add an image. So if this is all items, I might want to have a picture of a male and a female in that image, right? Since it's all items. And that might be the homepage collection, right? If I wanted to, let's say, go to the image collection for men's, and I wouldn't have men's, I would change the logo. I would say call it men's, right? And I would have just a picture of a guy standing there, right? Or maybe this picture, whatever it is. And then maybe if it's women's, right? So I'm going to change this to women's. I'm going to select an image of just a woman. So maybe it's this image, okay? And so we have 3 photos here. Now, obviously, red is not going to be the color that I'm going to go with. I think we should match our branding, maybe make it orange, or maybe even white. White might be a very, very clean look. So let's go with white, and let's see how it looks. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Okay, make it all white. And let's see, we can actually get rid of some of these different options here. And we can just break down our categories a little bit further. Let's just go ahead and save our progress thus far and see how things turn out and how they look. So let's give it a second to load. And it shouldn't take too long since our theme is kind of designed pretty well so far. The only thing I want to say in the stipulation is that not every theme, like I said, has this kind of collection setup. So you kind of want to look for that. So you can see here we have all items, accessories, men's. We can add, well, I might have made a mistake here. So this should be actually the men's product. So in this case, let's go for this image to be men's rather. And then let's change this one. Let's just not even, I mean, we could do accessories. I might as well remove it. But, you know, in this case, we could go with accessories and we'll just make it, you know, an image. We can go with women's here and select an image also. So select this one. And for fun, the last one, which is shoes, we could change that up into let's say t-shirts, right? So these are not necessarily different ones that I recommend, just because, you know, you're gonna want to have it set up a little bit more cleanly, and but what I mean by that is just have you know, photos that actually fit the image type size, right? The 460 by 460, so it looks a little bit cleaner. The text, you're gonna want to have it all uniform in terms of color, right? So it has to be, if you're gonna do it all white, keep it all white. If you're going to do, you know, whatever it might be. If you're going to do black, keep it all black, right? So in this case, I'm going all white. So you can see here, white is the thing that we're going with. We can change the links. So if I just scroll up, we have all items. We have accessories. I'll leave the accessories where it is. Let's have a collection here For let's say, I don't know, for the men's, let's go with men's bottoms maybe. And like I said, these don't match, but you do want to make them match if you're going to go with this route. And let's add links here to, collections of whatever it might be. So collection, women's bottoms, something like that. Let's hit save. In my case, like I said, and I said this earlier, I'm not going to be going with this setup. For my kind of store design, I don't think it takes up to just the cleanly look of it. So I'm going to go with Style 4. Style 4 is by far my favorite for this specific one. Now, that's not recommended to everybody. You guys might like Style 3 more than you like Style 4. You might like Style 1. It just depends on who you are and what you like, right? I do believe that Style 4 and Style 3 will lead to better conversions just because you have an option to view all the different situations here, like men's, clothing for men, for women, whatever. But like I said, kind of up to you what you want to do. And it's edited the same way. So if we go to theme settings, it's the same thing, right? We edit, instead of all products, it will say all products, right? Instead of clothing, it will say, let's say men's, right? Instead of for men, it will say women's. Instead of for women, we could just take that out completely. Accessories, we can take that out completely also. New arrivals, let's get rid of that. Or actually, you know what, we might as well keep new arrivals, but I'll move it up. New arrivals, we can add sales, let's say. All right, so sale or clearance. Clearance sounds better. Clearance, right? Okay, and maybe we could add just some collections here. So collections, I'll add all products for the clearance. For the new arrivals, I'll have a collection that might be maybe like bras or something like that. For women's, we're going to have just like all women's products. So let's click on women's. And for men's, let's get rid of what we currently have and let's go to men's. So men's is right there. And now that it's all there, we have our background color. We can change our background color to like a pure white, kind of how the rest of the page is, so that it blends in. And overall, I think that looks pretty decent. The text will be black, which looks cleaner, in my opinion. And yeah, I think that looks overall pretty decent. The only way to edit this orange color, we can edit in this theme settings, like the overall theme settings. So from collection page, we go to theme settings. But let's just go ahead and wait for this to reload and see our new design. I'm really excited to get rid of this little bar here. Or let me just go here and just preview the website. And this was our old look, so I kept this old look for a reason. And let's go to Shop Now. And we can see here, it's designed a little bit better. So it looks a little bit cleaner overall. And these are, like I said, all products. We have men's, so it'll take us to the men's, right? You can see how fast it is, too. It's nothing like the way you edit the theme, right? New arrivals. So you see how everything just loads so quick. And clearance, right? So we have a clearance section. So there's a lot. There's a lot that needs to be addressed, right? So let's go ahead and go back to our collections page. We notice that there's like this empty image here. This is sidebar stuff. So there's a lot of things we can edit. And there's just, there's just so much, right? So there's collection banner modern. So what does this mean? So if you want to enable it, right, there's going to be some things that you want to take into consideration. With the collection banners, guys, there's things that can improve your conversion rates. There's things that take away your conversion rates, right? So if I was just to select the image, and let's just say they want 1920 by whatever. So if I was to select this image, or let's just pick a different image for the sake of this video. Let's just pick this one, okay? Let's hit select, all right? And by the way, we have a collection sidebar. You know, while we wait for this to load, we might as well just talk about this, okay? We have a collection sidebar. So collection sidebar is right here, okay? If you're on the product page, it will look differently, but you have sidebar left and sidebar right. I like sidebar left generally. But if it doesn't look as good, we could get rid of that. Like, I don't mind. Let's hit save. Let's just preview how that looks. Should take about a second. And we can enable a sticky left sidebar. So basically what that means is sticky is wherever you move, you scroll up, you scroll down. If you're on a bigger device, it's going to stay there. So in this case, it's not sticky, so it doesn't move us. But if we enable the sticky sidebar, so let's hit save, right? It's going to move with us. And let's go ahead and go back to our, we can also edit the background here. So if we want like white, let's go with white, right? Products per page, products per row. There's just so much we can edit. So this is kind of how sticky would look, where this doesn't move, but this does. And I just think that's a little bit cleaner of a look. And like I said, it just looks overall pretty decent. If you want, we could just save this and we can view like a product, right? And so this is what a normal consumer would do, is they would click on a collections page and they would view a product. And they would also have the filters set up based on kind of what they like. So if you're taking a look at it, so all I could see here is the product. Now, something that you're going to want to pay attention to also is right here. So this is the product page, right? Previously, I selected that I want a transparent header, right? So in this case, the header is not transparent anymore. Where it is, but it's interfering with the product. So that's going to make me make more edits, right? And mean that, hey, I can't have a transparent header. So I'm going to have to go back to other header pages and just remove transparent header. And you can see here it looks much cleaner. And so if I go back to home, right, and I just view our different pages that we have available to us, right? So let's just give that a second. And we click on, so you notice how it is transparent here, because this is, like I said, it is homepage, right? Header homepage. But if I click on shop now, right? Okay, so links cannot be opened inside the editor. It will be opened in a new window. That's fine. So there it is. So it's not transparent necessarily any longer. So hopefully that just makes sense to everybody. If I wanted to click on, like, let's say shop now over here, should take me to various different pages. So this is like the collection page, and it's the same feature. So this is a sticky sidebar, and it doesn't matter what collection it is, it's all uniform throughout. And that's kind of what we needed. In this case, I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need it. If there's going to be things that kind of weigh down your business or kind of weigh you down, you don't need it. The configuration, this has to do with everything with the filter, excuse me. You want to enable the filter feature or disable it. Enable sort by. So I love these different features, like sort by best selling, sort by A to Z, low price, high price, etc. Let's hit save here just so it kind of reconfigures itself. Okay. And it just has a clean look overall. And we could also move this banner down. So we can do a lot of things here. We can filter our accordion. So we have an accordion for the sort by, so the filter layout. We can edit kind of how things work there. There's not going to be too much edits on my end in that area. These are the different settings for the filter. So if we have a shop by color list tags, so we have black, we have purple, we have whatever, you're going to want to add certain tags to certain products. So the way it would work is, let's say this is the Surface Infinity bra, right? If I just go over here to the product homepage and go to products, right? And I search that same bra. So I'm going to search bra, or search it here rather. And I search, let's see where it is here. Just take a look. So this is the green one, or it should be the green one. And you see how it's green? If I add inside my tag, I type in green, right? So you could see here it's tagged now. So let's go ahead and save that. And if we just go to our collections page, let's go back to, and this is how it originally looks. So it doesn't look like this anymore. Let's just reload this page. And so if we just click on women's, right? Because it is a women's product, and we just hit the green button. There it is. It's green, right? So all the products kind of have to be tagged in colors if you want to use this, and it will improve conversion rates. Because, like, let's say somebody only purchases black clothing, then they're going to be able to click on black and see the list of black. Now, do we have black clothing? We absolutely do, all right? If we go to all products, we have black shirts here. The only reason why they didn't show up is because they're not tagged. And that's the only reason, right? So these are things you're going to want to pay attention to when it comes to designing your kind of like your collections page. So keep that in mind. Now we can do some more edits to the collections page. So let's go back to online store here, and let's hit customize. Right? And the reason why we're putting so much time and effort into our collections page is because we want it to reap us sales. We want it to reap us conversions. We want it to be beneficial to our business, right? So let's just hit here and let's hit collection pages. Okay. Now that we're at the collection page, let's just make a quick edit here. Let's go to theme settings, let's go to collection page, then go to theme settings, and let's just look at kind of the things that we can offer. So we have if you notice here, there's a banner here. This is a banner. Why is this banner important? If you have something you need to offer to people, some kind of discount, something, this is where you're going to be placing that image. So in this case, I'm just going to be pasting a random image that we have. So let's say I want to click on this one, right, and hit save. Let me go ahead and hit save real quick. So it's going to show up right there. Now, is this what you want to be putting, like a product picture? No, you don't want to be doing that. Unless these are like all upsells to what's referred to as the main product if you're doing a one product store. But this case, I would add like a discount or something like that, something that can benefit somebody, right? This is just a widget, right? So it's a widget tag or widget banner. So this is widget 6, which is a widget banner. If I wanted to add a widget tag, I can do that. I can also add it none, so I can just get rid of this section completely, right? Which is also nice too. And like I said, you can edit all these different tags and different settings by editing the settings here. Okay, so there's a lot you can do with that, and just overall, just more things that you can edit and configure. So that's something to pay attention. When you perform these edits, guys, just be patient, because what you're doing here is you're dealing with a lot of stuff. And your consumer wants to make sure that you're giving them the best of their ability. Now, to just close off the collections page, let's go to our back here and let's click on footer. We notice that the footer is empty, so we need to add a background. So if you look here, when you click on footer, there's not much that you can click on except for like footer 4, footer 1. All those settings for footer 4 and footer 1, you go to theme settings, right? And you edit those footer settings here. So footer 1, footer 2, footer 3, etc. But I don't want to do that. So let's go to footer 4 and let's hit theme settings and let's just select our logo image. So this is the image in this case, right? And it should select. And this is for our logo image for our footer. We can also change the size of it. So if I wanted to make it smaller, I can make it smaller. Let's just preview how it looks. I actually like it the way it looks now. If we wanted to edit colors, we could do that. All that stuff is available, right? Because we're on footer 1 right now. We'll just go back to here. We'll go to our theme settings. It's all available right here. So footer 1, and we can edit, like I said, our colors. We can edit kind of how things look. So if I wanted to go to colors, we have our main color, body color, main color 2. I can go to footer 6, let's say, take a look at what they're offering. I can go to footer 3 and see what they're offering in the different style designs. If I want to actually put these styles to the test, I would have to go to, let me go here. Let me just save my work so far. I would have to go back. Let's go back. And let's go to the footer section, and just edit kind of what we see here. Now, I don't want the color gray. That's just something I want to be clear about. I don't want the color gray. I think it looks a little, just either black I'm okay with going with, or just white. So let's test how it looks. And let's change this to white. real quick, and let's just see how it looks. If it doesn't look good, then, I might just stick with white. Yeah, I think I'll stick with white. So in this case, I'll just stick with white here for the background color, and the text will be black. So that looks very clean to me. And let's hit save, and that's how you edit your collections page to kind of make it fit what you want and how you want it. So make sure you guys get that done before we continue moving on and building out the rest of the store. Okay, so now that I've uploaded some content, I want to actually create a second banner to our website. So let's go ahead and go to online store here. Let's hit the customize button. Let's just get rid of this little loading bar here. And what we're going to be waiting for is the whole theme to load, right? For everything to load up. So it did right now. And you can see here on the right side of the banner, we have a 1, 2, 3. Now these are empty. I could choose to use this specific banner or slideshow as they call it, but I could also use other things. So we have banner 1, banner 2, banner 3, banner 4, banner 5, right? This banner is not necessarily like this. It's all the way across. Banner 6, right, as one system across like this. And we also have slideshows, so let's go over here and hit load more. Like I said, this is not going to be the same for every theme. It just depends on what theme that you have. And so I'll scroll down a little more. And so we have different slideshows. So we have slideshow 1, right, which is a large hero slideshow. We have slideshow 2, slideshow 3, right, slideshow 4, slideshow 5. So you guys kind of get the idea. What I'm going to go with, I'm just going to stick with the slideshow that we're currently using. And I'm just going to add a new banner. So let's hit select image here. And let's select on the image that we want. And let's hit select. So we can see kind of how it will look. And that looks good to me. Now, once I save my progress and I go back here, it's going to have, they're not going to be on top of each other like this. There's going to be the little arrow here with 1, 2, 3, and it'll be available to us. I'm actually going to get rid of number 3 here because I don't think number 3 is necessarily needed for slideshow number 3. Let's go ahead and hit save, and let's just refresh. So let's go ahead and just refresh real quick, and it should give us exactly what we need, which is going to be one slideshow with 2 different images or as banners. They're going to be playing as banners. So we have 1 here and we have 2. There we go. So that's good enough for us. You can see there's like an animation of things moving out, right? So that's good. And I like that. And that's something that I'm going to stick with for our theme. So we have 1 and 2. Now, if I wanted to make this one the first one, I'll just drag it like this. And then it will be the first one, and then the yellow one will be the second one. So this one will be the second one. This will have position number 1. We can also edit the margins. We can make them larger or smaller. In this case, the default margins are perfect and they work for me. But if you want to change them, you can just add a number like 40 or 20 or something like that, and that will change the pixel preview. In my case, like I said, the margins are perfect where they are. So I'm just going to hit save my progress. Okay, and like I said, what you're seeing here is this is the theme loading, right? It shows slideshow 1, slideshow 2. Once this green bar has loaded all the way through, it will be on top of each other the way it's supposed to be, right? It's going to have a little 1 here, a little 2, kind of like this, and that's exactly how it will look on the consumer's end and on your end. So that's just something. Okay, so I want to do a little short demo just showing you guys kind of how the banner works and how, it works on a preview section. So this is me previewing the website on the outside. Sometimes the editor might not pick it up, and I was just a little confused, and I wanted to see and confirm that it works. If we just go here to the actual website and we scroll down to one of the buttons, we click on the button, you'll see how it takes us to the right category now, or the right collection. So it's not like we made a mistake. Sometimes I guess that will just happen with the editor. And since we're talking about collections, I want to talk about the collections page and how to just kind of make some changes to that with. So amongst all the different features, there's going to be some things that are going to be required for every store, and every store should have them, right? It's fair to say that every store should have certain requirements, okay? With those requirements, I'm going to lay it out right here, right now. Every store needs to have a hero banner. Every hero banner should have some sort of promotion. 40% off, 20% off, buy one, get one free, free shipping. Whatever the incentivization is, it should have it, right? Every store should have a split banner, assuming that the products are not the same, things are being sold. Every store should have a split banner. Every store should also have a product grid that is, sectional. So people can select what they want within the product grid. It just adds for more customization. And also, blogs should be available. That's optional. But lookbooks are also optional, and these are the things that are going to send your store to the next level. If everything like this is available all on the front page, you have a much higher chance at converting and adding these different benefits to your store that intrigue people. Now, also, every store should have some kind of dynamic add to cart. So if I was to go here, let's say click on the product, right? And let's say add the small size to the cart. You can see here that I can have upsells available to me, and there's also a checkout. So I can proceed to checkout. And proceed checkout, that's going to take me straight to the checkout. It's not something I want to do, obviously. But you get my point here. This is called a one-step checkout. Why does one-step checkouts actually matter? It's very, very simple. One-step checkout is going to boost your conversion rate. Because people who want something truly, they're going to click on the checkout, and they're going to go straight to the checkout, and they're going to pay. Okay? That's important. Okay? People forget that, but that's important. But overall, this is a course on design, and hopefully by now, especially in the project, after completing the project, you're going to be ready to design stores on the fly. So like something that you want to do is you have banners, okay? And especially in the project, just read the product explanation. You're going to have a banner. You're going to have a split banner. You're going to have a product category. What I want you to do is I want you to take screenshots of every single one that you've created and send it in through the project, okay? Sounds good? Sounds good. So everybody's going to do that, and that's going to be the absolute minimum for everybody's store. I get it that some people don't want to be above and beyond with creating frequently asked questions page and things like that, but that's something that everybody should be doing. All right, let's get into it. So good luck with the project. Get the project done, submitted. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.